Hold on to your ghosts.
Oh yes, the battle lines have been drawn.
Amuse me, Traveler Spawn.
You're on the edge of victory. Annihilate them.
As if my life wasn't hard enough already.
If you think this armor is impressive, you should see me out of it.
Hey Guardians, welcome back to Fireteam Misadventure with your favorite Guardians from the Tower. We are back live with you guys having lots of fun. I'm one of your Guardians, Slayton. I'm a Warlock primarily, and I'm joined by my other super fun Guardians. I've got Maddie Bugs.
Hello.
And she's a hunter.
Yes, hunter only for life.
And we have Arctic.
Hi, I'm a Warlock.
See, Warlocks are the master race here. And then we have DP.
Hi. It's dinner time. Don't judge me.
Yeah. He's like, can they eat? I was like, sure, why not? We're not mean. So yeah, we've been off for about a month and a half now, getting some game time in, and there's a lot that's happened. We've got a lot of that week's of Bungies to go over. They announced the PvP stuff, and we're gonna talk about the ending of the season today. So one of the things we always talk about on this show, especially in Crucible Academy, is just how little PvP gets noticed. And what was it, last week they decided to start talking about PvP and everyone was all excited. I was like, I want to know what these two think. So, Arctic and DP, what did you think about their PvP talk?
Arctic, lead the way, bro.
I can't wait to hear this.
I mean, they're, in terms of, like, game modes and stuff, we don't really have a whole lot. Rift is coming back, cool. We're getting some reissued D2 maps next season, which, I mean, that stuff literally just got vaulted.
I was gonna say.
We're getting some D1 maps at some point, cool. And then we're getting our first brand new map in like 8 months. So, yeah, we're supposed to be excited and hyped for a new map for the first time in over 2.5, almost 3 years.
Hey, I will say that today's TWAB made me extremely happy.
Which we will get to that.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
No!
We're going to get there.
Eat your pork chop.
Yeah, no. After playing Halo Infinite's technical preview, coming back to Destiny and seeing how neglected PvP really has become has been eye-opening, and I've done no PvP since then.
Yeah, it's been... What would you say, Maddie? It's been 2 months for me. I've been over on Warzone.
Yeah. Well, you did go in and play Iron Banner the other day.
Well, that's kind of the secret fact that we need to mention, y'all, is we haven't been playing Destiny. Like, I've logged in to do my weekly things for about an hour or two. Maybe I'll jump on and play with my cousin on Sunday nights when I do my normal stream, but I've really been playing everything else right now because there was nothing to do.
Yep, bored.
Well, what's left that I haven't done is your end game grandmasters, the challenges to the raids, and I mean the grandmaster. What, you have to be 1340 just to even
35.
walk in there.
So.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, 1335. So if you haven't been, and right now I'm at like a 1330, which means I literally would have to grind probably a week or two before I'd get to a 1335. And I'm not going to do that for one activity. If I'd gotten there just in the course of playing the game because there was so much to do, I would have. And I feel bad seeing people in Discord who want to do the Grandmasters. That's where you're getting your good rolls. They're getting ready for the next season. Let's get some new weapon or better rolls. But what's the point of grinding just for a Grandmaster? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I've been logging in weekly to do a Master Bog with the challenge in order to get the seal. got the seal, now I have nothing I want or need to do. So I've been doing not Destiny.
So we heard Arctic talk about the PvP stuff. What is your point on the PvP DP?
Well, the abilities are what, like, something I've been saying for a while is we have gotten way too ability heavy, and everyone knows it. We've gotten ability heavy. We've gotten, regeneration of our super heavy. It's just too much. It's not gunplay. Hence the reason why I've been enjoying Warzone. I will deal with all the hackers and cheaters in Warzone over the ones in Destiny right now because I'm enjoying gunplay. I love gunplay. It shows a true test of skill. If I get outplayed, I get outplayed, and I'm okay with it. But that drives me to get better. In Destiny, I've grown so tired of 19 abilities hitting me, and then 3 nade launchers from all the way across the map, bouncing around, and I'm just like, I never saw anyone who killed me for 4.5 minutes. It was just nade launchers and abilities, and I'm going. We've gotten it's gotten bad, and with the ability changes that came, I'm not happy.
Nope, and sometimes it sometimes feels like Bungie doesn't even play their own game, and looking at changes like the slide nerf. Sliding is such a huge part of playing the game. And all of a sudden, because shotgun sliding is such a big deal, every single archetype and every single weapon gets a negative 20% stability just for sliding.
And
it doesn't make any sense.
What I said after the ability changed TWAB was they're slowing down the game, and they're making, and we'll get into that, but they're making PvP almost as cheesy as it can be right now with the ability changes to Titans and Warlocks. I feel it's going to be cheesy as hell.
It just, so I think I got my answer from the two of you about them announcing PvP. I thought people were being too excited for it because I didn't really see any point outside of something new, but hey, give us old stuff, which I just don't agree with. They should have already just been there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about this week's this week at Bungie.
Do you want to start with the ability one?
I don't really know where to start because they were like, yeah, y'all are just too powerful. We're undead freaking magicians, y'all. I mean, when you talk about how you love gunplay is just a half of being an undead magician. It is about the powers and the supers. That's why you play it. And
True.
So now, are they going to try to make it so we're just undead soldiers?
Well, so I get what you're saying about half of it is gunplay, but so many guns, exotics, are geared towards your builds for your armor that the abilities themselves way overshadow the exotics that and all the weapons and all the perks. Why even I kill one enemy, I get my nade back and I just throw it endlessly. So you're not actually using the weapons to their intended use in PvE and PvP, in my opinion.
If anything has been proven in the last 2 TWABs, it is that PvE and PvP desperately need their own sandbox tuning.
And they had discussed that that's what they were doing.
Oh, lightly and mildly, whenever they decide it's appropriate, which half the time it's not. Making the changes to Icarus Dash totally makes sense in a PvP discussion, but for PvE, there's no reason to nerf Icarus Dash that hard.
Nope.
And so it doesn't make any sense at this point to have it. I mean, I understand why they want some sort of parity between the 2 sandboxes, but at this point, we need to move past it. We need to separate them completely because PvE is starting to suffer because of changes to PvP. And
So,
it's just not fun.
I pulled up this week at Bungie's from today. Let's just start looking at some of this stuff. They're really tweaking a lot of the armors, and I don't use a lot of the armors. Like, I use the helmets and the gloves, but I don't really use the armors and boots. They just don't really go with my play style, so I didn't understand all of these. But it seems like a lot of them, they just kind of halved the things that they do.
Basically, yeah.
I don't understand that aspect. So, DP, let's just start at the top.
Okay.
We have,
That's the Shards of Galanor.
yeah, the Shards of Galanor.
Well, you could go into Gambit, used
Uh-huh.
to, when there was an overtime round. And you could spam the hell out of Blade Barrage. And if you had one Blade Barrage on your Gambit team in overtime, they never stopped throwing, ever.
Yep.
So that's an understandable nerf. Like,
No, that should stay
I
forever.
wouldn't even necessarily say the shards adjustment was a nerf. It is like a horizontal adjustment because you get more super per enemy, but it's also halved from the total max that you can get.
With a max of 50%.
Yeah.
Just like they did to Orpheus rigs, many seasons ago, where you should just spam tether and orbs and stuff like that. It needed a nerf. It was overpowered. I agree. Did I hate it? Of course. I love my Orpheus rigs, but
orbs for days.
But they're still viable. You just have to use you just have to use more of your brain. It's not an endless thing.
So how much do you think this is going to affect it? When it seems like most of these first batches they're capping it at 50%.
Shards are not meta at all. They're not. It's like, oh crap, I forgot those were even a thing. If you're not a hunter main, you're like, is that a new exotic for hunters? I don't know what that is. So, like, Ursa Furiosas are next. I'm gonna let Arctic talk about those.
I mean, Ursa's just got nerfed into the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now the meta for GM Nightfalls is Shadebinder, Warlock with Bleak Watcher, and Ursa Furiosa Titans. And, being able to essentially endlessly have your super up is great, but that's not okay with Bungie, and so that's being nerfed.
So it's the same thing with the dire Ahamkara, whatever the hell it's called.
Ahamkara.
Ahamkara. Like, y'all know I can't say things when I'm looking at it. I
believe they nerfed that once before in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now
it's
getting another nerf.
They're like, hey, yeah, these are fine, but we're gonna bring it down. You're right. Did they not test this stuff? Like, this is stuff that they really should have looked at.
Basically, all the exotics touched are the ones that generate super based off of super usage. So, I mean, I get it, but also it sucks. So it is what it is.
So let's look at the bombardiers, because I don't even know what these are. I don't think I've ever seen them.
You're not a hunter main.
Yeah.
Look, most hunters don't know what they are either, because we don't.
So the bombardiers are a gimmicky exotic where if you do a dodge, you drop basically this miniature bomb that explodes after a couple seconds.
I wouldn't even call it a bomb.
Yeah,
it's like a flashbang grenade, maybe. Or like a firecracker. Poof.
It's like a firecracker, yeah.
Scare the grasshopper next to it. Oh, it's suppressed now. Like, what is that going to do?
Yeah, I mean, the changes to the Bombardier are actually kind of interesting. It seems like they're going more towards a subclass parity kind of meta. But having a bunch of different ways to use Bombardiers now is kind of interesting. Wish that it would suppress supers with the void subclasses, but that's not a thing apparently. So
yeah,
I do like
other things.
I do like the change to Storm Dancer's Brace. That could be potentially a PvE like meta thing with just definitely Nightfalls and stuff for all the ads.
So I have Storm Dancer's Brace, but I don't ever use it because it sucks.
It doesn't anymore.
What are they doing with it? Because I guess I missed that part.
It's up with the rest of the super.
Oh, there it is. Now also refunds up to 50% of your super energy after your super ends, based on number of kills. I guess
But-
that could be fun.
With your super, you get a bunch back.
Right, but for each, with the change to landfall as well, you go into a room stacked with Storm Dancer's braces, intrinsic perk. You go in there, you jump in the air, and you hit landfall on a bunch of ads. You've already got your Storm Dancer's brace maximum potential output for damage, because for each enemy killed, it stacks on damage during your super. So when you come back down the ground, you're doing max damage. So you're gonna wipe out in a whole room of ads. Depending on how much damage your ramps up, I believe they added extra damage to it as well, right? Then that's going to be a PvE ad clear, room clear beast. And getting half of it back with a team, like, it's definitely, with landfall, I think it's going to be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I
will test that.
I use the crown helmet with my with my Sith Lightning because it literally just makes it last a really long time. That's how I play.
Yeah, so this will definitely be competing with that, depending on how you want to play it. Do you just want one really long super, or do you want a standard super that just gives you a bunch of super back after you get kills with it?
And extra power.
Yeah.
It's a little stronger than a normal super.
I love my electric power. I play with it all the time. This was a lot of changes for a bunch of legendary stuff, exotic stuff.
Geomags.
Yeah, see, I have those too. Never tried them.
Oh, dude, don't now.
Okay,
Yeah,
how bad they make them now?
So the thing is with Geomags is that when you get to 75% of your super bar, you can literally sprint into a wall and it'll activate top off, which just means it basically autofills just for sprinting.
I mean, if you're going to be dumb enough to run into a wall, it may as well give you something.
Sure, what you do so you don't have to run in a circle.
When you're talking about PvP, it becomes a huge issue. And so Geomags have absolutely busted Crucible this season. So they're just removing that top off ability now.
I think it's because I don't play enough PvP yet that I don't notice these things as much as you guys do.
Extremely overpowered.
Maddie, have you noticed this kind of stuff? I mean, because you and I don't really do Crucible.
Right. So I couldn't tell you if it's because I suck or because I got a really good build, or all of the above. So
let me
I just go in and have fun when it comes to Crucible. But there are some things that I will pick up with doing, say, nightfalls with people or doing raids, especially, or different, like say going and doing the dungeons. Slayton, there's a lot of times you go to certain dungeons, you want to have certain builds, and so I know of some things from the PvE aspect, but definitely not like a PvP. Like, I'm pretty sure I've never heard Geomags be the meta in a raid or in a nightfall.
Yeah.
So
Nightfall.
Or if it's good at Gambit, of course I'll know about that. But which can be kind of PvP-ish, but not. I mean, somebody's not going to make. Well, I would. Maybe there are people who make a build just for PvP to go into Gambit, but they got way more time.
If I play Gambit, what's Gambit again? I can't.
Yeah, DP. Yeah.
I know.
That's the other thing I don't understand. Like, I've been playing Gambit a lot recently. Had so much fun.
You sunk that low, huh?
Yeah, well, I've always enjoyed Gambit, except for the constant invaders when they just don't stop coming.
That was the only change I really, really didn't like about Gambit, because it used to be, you had to wait till certain times, and then they allowed you to basically stack your invades. So you still had to dunk 25 before you get your first invade, and then 50 to get your next one. But if you don't invade, it's 6 there. And so you could get to 50, and now you have 2 invades available. So as soon as you get in and invade, you get back home, you can now turn around and go right back in and do it again. And I didn't like that part. I don't think you should stack your invades. Like, if you don't invade in the first 50, well, tough shit. You only get 1 at 50. But yeah, that's one thing I really never liked. And that's where the frustration comes in, because a smart team will save them up until you get to be about 75. And then I'm going to go in and just make that team's life hell and make sure they lose all of their moats. We're going to dump everything we can on them. And that's how you end up where it is today, where you got one team that is at the boss and absolutely melts it. And the other team can't even get 50 fucking moats in. And they're sitting around going, see you next time. We start emoting when that shit happens. When we start seeing that boss go down, we just sit down in our little thrones, like Callus, and just like watch the show, because there's nothing we're going to do. Especially with, what's this Titan subclass?
Yeah, the missile. Code of the missile.
And just fucking wipes the boss. It's like, well, bye.
I'm waiting on that nerf. We've had a lot of fun with it. I digressed into Gambit World. It's gonna happen.
Wasn't there this week at Bungie that they talked about, they teased that there's going to be some new game mode coming? Did I mistakenly see that?
I mean, they confirmed Rift coming back from D1, but as far as a new game mode, they might have said something, but...
It's one of those things I think I saw in passing, either on a Twitter feed or something, when they were talking about the next year's season. Because I remember when I guess this is the Gambit was the game mode they tested with all the top players. And like, oh, it's so awesome. And then they totally just jacked it over. And I don't know if I want another game mode.
Another core playlist or Gambit game mode? Like, what do you...
They just said
core playlist.
No, you have PvP, we have Gambit, we have PvE. Unless it was a horde mode, I don't care if it's another game mode, honestly. They don't need to do another PvP style game mode. Maybe it is time to just let Gambit go and maybe shift. Well, they can't shift folks to PvP either because they don't care about that. I just don't know how to fix it. When they keep releasing these this week's at Bungie's, it always sounds so promising. And then I get to talk to you guys about it. And it's like, okay, well, here's why they're doing it. Why did they fix it a long time ago so they can be working on other things now? And I'm just like, it's just like they're spinning their wheels trying to placate a bunch of people, because there's nothing more dangerous than a bunch of entitled gamers. I'm not saying we're entitled gamers. We just know what we've had before, and we know what it can do. And it seems like there's
From a game creator standpoint, I could probably see their frustration. Like, what do we do? They want more, they want more, they want more. Okay. Just get your design team, even if it's just a bunch of new weapons, not old and reprised. Every time I see them say, oh, it's going to be an old and reprised and we're bringing it back, I don't want it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, where's my new stuff that's not locked behind a master legendary lost sector on solo?
I mean, they're bringing basically what looks like the Lincoln Green back to Iron Banner. That's what it looks like, and it's just going to have the Iron Banner perks. Rapid fire pulse rifle, Iron Banner perks. Nah, I'm good.
And another Iron Banner sidearm.
Sidearm. Yeah. I'm just like.
Is there any sidearm that's worth having and actually keeping as a main weapon? Because I've never played with a sidearm unless I had to.
Which is the new one?
The one from Override. I love it.
I have that honestly. One. I have a really good build of that one too.
There's a few roles that you can get that are good. I use it in PvP just because I get bored.
The problem is that it's still a sidearm.
Yeah, sidearms are just not very effective. They could be fun. I really wish the stasis one was fun.
You're gonna have to use them next season.
Oh,
Maybe.
I hate when they do that with
Possibly.
the shield breaking stuff.
No.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna be
Don't
really
use anything
meta.
else or just not play the game.
You're gonna see Le Monarch, huge uptick. Trinity Ghoul, huge uptick in PvE, especially Le Monarch. I feel.
So my version of Farewell has Heating Up and Thresh on it, and it does pretty well.
Let me see. I kept one for PvP and one for PvE.
We'll see. The Heating Up is Final Blows, increase accuracy, and Thresh generates super energy.
So it's a kinetic version of, and this is an archetype that Arctic does not like at all.
Uh-oh.
I don't
If
like
you ever-
sidearms in general.
Yeah, in general, he doesn't like sidearms. But I loved the Anonymous Autumn back in the day. It was a solar.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was very good in the Crucible. It is nasty. This is the same archetype. The Anonymous Autumn back in the day could get the full auto and kill clip. You didn't need the full auto, but I like full auto. This one I kept was full auto and multi kill clip. So I kept that. I've used it on stream. I've used it in PvE and PvP. I love it. So like for me, having a sidearm champion mod, I'm cool with it. But we kind of have the Devil's Ruin. We already have Bastion for the Fusion Champion mod that's coming out, which I've been using for Unstoppables. So
I do have Bastion.
let's put it this way: we have a sidearm mod this season, and no one is using it.
Yeah.
It will be the exact same thing next season.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
Probably right.
I would like it. Like every season, I try to just switch up my primary weapons to do like next season. I'm gonna do mostly fusion rifles and things because I don't ever play with. I like to switch them on purpose, but I find myself getting really frustrated with sidearms because it's like they're like right there where they can be great, but they're not. And I don't know why I bother playing with other than to complete a challenge.
The problem is that while it's nifty, the content that you'll be using these mods in, unless the weapon is absolute meta, you're not going to be using it. You're not going to go into a Master Vogue with a unstoppable sidearm.
I'll use Bastion. That's what
you'll find literally anything that has explosive payload or whatever it is, and use that. I will say Overload Bow is the best overload mod that you could have next to Explosive Hand Cannon Overload, but again, it's kind of meh. I wish I was excited.
Well,
it's not all bad. So something that we can quickly go over. They're getting rid of traction. This is more of a controller adjustment. So traction is the one that allows you to turn quickly. Instead, it's going to basically just be an option in your options to adjust your sensitivity when sprinting. Controller sensitivity options are going from 1 to 10 to 1 to 20, which is awesome.
Been asking for years for that.
And then there is an aim down sensitivity modifier that every game has except for Destiny till now. And then we have some other mod changes, so ammo finders basically being changed so that you want to be using your primary weapons to get kills, and even more so with exotic primaries to get your special and heavy ammo drops. Multiple copies of scavenger mods no longer stack. And then there is a new type of mod called holster, which essentially gives you auto-loading holster on whatever weapon type that you have equipped. It'll be a leg mod. It excludes Ariana's Vow, rocket launchers, breech-loaded grenade launchers, and bows because they all have a magazine size of 1, but everything else will have the ability to use the holster mods and stack them for faster auto-loading holster, which is nice. Warmind cells getting nuked.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Not enough people use them as it is.
I don't really use a lot of war mine spells.
I
It's
did
not-
that one season. This season I did the elemental ball build, but I would like to go back to do the Warmind build because it was so much fun. Like it was super fun. And now they're like, well,
It's
we're
fun,
gonna
so now they're nuking it from
they're
orbit.
seriously nuking, and I don't want to go and redo it anymore.
I've
Yeah.
never
Like,
even
I'm just
used
like-
the elemental wells.
I've not so wells either. I could care less. As long as
Yeah,
charge
that's
with
me too.
still around. I mean, charge with light is all I need.
Yep.
Well, I use it a lot with mine because I'll have all my weapons matching, and it will just tear stuff up, and you keep getting them, and it just keeps doing extra fun damage, and it makes my stuff charge faster. So I figured out a pretty good build for it this season. I do want to try a different build next season because I do normally do Charge of Light. I
Yeah.
go into raids with Charge of Light. I know how to use that one very well. So it'll be interesting
PvP,
to
I do
see.
charge the light.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do next season. If they did War Mines and Charge Light and the Wells, maybe we'll get something different to try next season. I don't know. But
See.
War Mines, even when it was there, people didn't do good War Mines. They didn't really know what to do until you really started to figure out, and then no one was really doing it. Like, so I think it's kind of maybe not nuke it as bad as they did because they really, really screwed it up.
Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing was that we're getting new Iron Banner armor. It's not to my taste, but honestly, it's new actual armor. It's not repurposed.
I like it.
So
I will
Well,
actually
I
play
mean,
Iron Banner for it.
If you wear
the
armor,
best thing about
you
it
get a
is that you
chance.
can look like Cobra Commander with your hunter. So
I'm not going to complain. That's awesome. Yes.
I didn't see
You can
that.
definitely look like Cobra Commander for sure. I mean, technically, they're trying to help Iron Banner get more people in there because of the enhancement prism intrinsic mod. I have more enhancement prisms than I do cores.
Yeah, each piece of Iron Banner comes with the ability to drop enhancement cores when you're playing Iron Banner.
Enhancement
And-
prism.
Sorry. And it can stack up to 4 times with 4 pieces of Iron Banner gear. So it's kind of nice, actually.
I just like the way it looks, so I will go do Iron Banner. We'll have to just go run and do it together. I'd rather play with people I know because every time I get an Iron Banner with random people, it's
I like
okay.
the Titan gear. It's not.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah,
already
I
imagining different
it's
colors
not-
on this
Not
bitch.
totally to my that hunter helmet. I would probably rock just because Cobra Commander.
You
But-
know what the Titan helmet looks like to me almost?
What?
Did y'all watch the Yin Yang Master on Netflix with the little red demon where if you hit him he gets bigger and bigger and he's got that little horn that comes out and curls?
No.
Oh my gosh, you gotta watch those two. Like there's the Yin Yang Master and then there's another one. Good movies. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
And then next week's TWAB will cover the final bit of sandbox changes. It'll be all about weapons.
So we'll definitely talk about that next Thursday. But it was the end of the season now, and am I the only one who hasn't finished it here?
I have not done the epilogue. I can't think of anything
I didn't
less.
do it either.
fine
I watched
Destiny.
it.
What's the epilogue?
It's the last override mission.
It's where
It's
there's
like
a big
final-
tearjerker moment.
So I'm gonna do it when we
Oh.
get done here, Matt. If you haven't done it, let's get on and do it. I'm gonna get on.
Yeah, I haven't done that. No, because of the getting the basement and everything together. I actually haven't logged in like 2.5 weeks. So
I've been
this-
playing the Ascent and all sorts of other games. So
Well, I've been
um,
playing something else too, but yeah, it's not. Normally, I would take time out, but my game time weekly has been kind of limited, so I've been choosing to do other things.
so what do we like about this season?
I think the story in its entirety is probably the best of a season that we've had so far. The cutscenes have been good. The story building and the world building has been great. Voice acting has been absolutely on point and incredible. But
It's only-
I mean, just like most seasons, after 5 or 6 weeks of it, it completely drops off. It's dead.
The only thing about the storytelling that I didn't like, and I can't say too much because they haven't done the epilogue
Oh,
or
I already
watched
know what
anything on
happens.
it.
So
Yeah, the cutscene is kind of cringe in
Well,
parts.
it's the Lakshmi. That's what gets me.
yeah.
Like
So I'll be definitely doing that tonight.
what?
I
I mean, they just said, "Oh, she's gone." What?
Yeah, I agree with Arctic that the story was really good this season.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm hoping they don't just try to cop out like they did last season and be like, oh well, I mean, there's so many points you could have done, and they teased a lot of things this season, and I'm really excited about the Astromir thing of all things. Like
What,
to
the little
me,
harpy?
yeah, to me that just is super exciting.
Cabal again?
Yeah. I think doing weekly drops of story lore and doing that where people can have fun with it is a really good thing. But again, you're right. Once you get halfway through the season, it just kind of stops. Like, do not ever bring back Solstice of Heroes.
Thank you.
That is, I did what I needed to do so I
Or
could
the
buy the
Dawning.
ornaments. I can't do it.
Where am I
If
going to
you're
get my
gonna-
T-shirts?
If you're gonna bring it back, change it. I'm tired
Yeah.
of the EAZ. I'm tired of the Haunted Forest. It's like, oh, Solstice of Heroes. I logged on and I was forced to pick up a piece of gear, but I didn't go into the EAZ. I didn't care about Solstice. I've never cared about
The
Solstice.
thing that I will give them credit for, even though it is all completely reissued stuff from the last 3 years, is they made it incredibly easy to do it all in one sitting. I was able to get my first character done, and then with the boosts that you get for your second and third character, made it trivial at best. It was a little tedious, but you could get it done in like 6 hours total.
Yeah,
never
the only
even
thing I
cared.
cared about was the glowing armor set, so I bought that.
I just
and I
want
bought
the
the
cruise
sharks.
shell. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I just
Uh,
wanted the T-shirt. So as soon as I got my T-shirt,
Hopefully,
I was done.
that'll be a valuable T-shirt because it'll be the last one you'll get because they really need to stop with this. This is the stupidest few weeks.
Well,
It's
I
like how
mean-
I think about the cookies at Christmas. Like I'm tired of baking. I'm over baking.
We
I'd
don't.
rather
We're
eat the
not we do
cookies.
not need to carry easy bake ovens with us. We're freaking undead magicians. We can just whoop, whoop, and make.
Look,
ghosts
if
can
you
make
need
that
a
shit.
pick me up and a sugar high while you're out there killing Fallen and Cabal, you just throw out the easy bake oven, freaking whip up some cookies
Like,
from
go
their
get an
blood
easy
and
bake oven.
guts.
He just
and
throw it out there,
go
just kind of
down.
clunks. Like
So-
in the freaking fall, like, what the hell is this? You just threw like a toy at me, really?
Well, I'm gonna use your blood and your guts to make some delicious cookies, but don't tell Zavala because I'm supposed to take a certain number back to him. I'm gonna eat some
He's
before I go.
vegan, so you know.
So while there's some
Uh.
good things and some bad things about this season, I'm really worried about next season.
Yeah.
Here's the primary
it-
thing we're about next season. It's going to
My-
be what 4 or 5 months.
It could potentially be up to 7, depending on how they want to do things.
No one is going to play the last half because there's no way they plan for this to be 7 months with enough content to fill it.
They barely have
There's
enough
no
content
possible
to
way.
fill 3
Point
months.
back that season of Arrivals and how dead the game was after a couple months.
Yep.
It's going to be the exact same thing
What-
with this season.
What do we think?
Unless they plan on releasing Witch Queen like January 1st, but I don't think so.
What do we think that what are your thoughts that's going to happen next season? Is it going
We're
to
going
be
to be
worse?
fooled.
Really say anything until these guys witness the epilogue.
Oh,
I
yes.
think we're going to be fooled. I think the leaks of Savathûn are going to turn out to be true. And we're not going to know what to do because everything we've been told isn't really what we thought it was. And they won't go down that road. They won't go really just any of it. I think they'll find
I
some
know- I
way
know.
to soap operaify it and backtrack because, like I said, I just keep feeling like they're too afraid to take these chances. So I'm hoping it sticks.
I
I
mean,
know who wants to take a chance. I know who wants to help save us.
Let me guess. He's sitting in the helm with nothing to do.
Yes, Yes, he is. And he needs
What
a job.
a waste. He just
He
sits
needs a
down
job.
there.
He is our savior.
He
I'm telling you.
completely disappeared
end-
this season, and
Yeah.
I hated
Gone.
that.
Yes.
They had such a good build up for him. Such a good
all of
build
a
up.
sudden he saved fucking Zavala from dying, and he brought himself out, and now he knows the truth about his past, and he's still here, and he's still encourage you. You hear some things because he's there kind of with Mithrax, where he's like, giving you encouragement. Hey, it's fine. Don't listen to her. She's crazy and racist. I understand. I used to be that outcast, and I want to help. And then that's all you get the whole fucking season from him. It's just But I think that's an indication that he's gonna be a pivotal part. He's got to be. Why the fuck would you bring him back from the dead if he's not going to be a pivotal part?
There's an opportunity in the epilogue where they could have just thrown him in there, even without voice lines, and it would have made everything infinitely better.
Okay.
You watch if we see Mara Sov again, which God knows
We will.
better, because she's the sexiest girl in the whole. No, I'm sorry.
Hey,
So,
I totally thought you were into
Mara
I
Sov
wasn't. I'm
is
like,
like-
she's the sexiest girl in Destiny, or woman. She's not even a girl.
No, just wait, DP. Mara Sob's gonna be like Captain Marvel, lying down at the last minute and saving the day.
I think honestly, the Crow is gonna be Aldrin is gonna be the one that has to kill his sister. They built it up for such an infatuation with his sister and Queen that she's gonna side with possibly the darkness, or Savathun, or something is gonna go wrong to where she's screwed up. Like either she's not herself and she's been taken over by another Ahamkara, because it says that Riven was the last known Ahamkara, not the last one. So.
Well,
she's
we
gonna
don't even
come
know
back
that
from wherever
wish has
she
been
is, and the
fulfilled.
Crow. I know I'm reaching here, but with the way that
you were reaching when you called him Aldrin. Aldrin is dead. This is the Crow.
Aldrin is not dead.
Aldrin is dead. This
Aldrin
is the Crow.
dead. Long live the Crow.
The
Crow is not the same as Aldrin.
He's gonna revert back. I see it now.
I think the only way the next season will work, if it's this long, is it's going to have to be Dreaming City focused. It's going to have to be dealing with the final wish.
More than
You're
one
gonna
thing.
have to have rotations where you can only get things at a certain week.
Which I love that about the Dreaming City. I love
Yep.
the 3-week rotation.
Because you have to. I had to
If
plan
get
out. I had to
into
sit
time
down and
gated
go.
shit, I'm gonna flip.
If what?
If anything else is time gated, I'm going to flip.
Look, they're gonna have to do more in 7 months than one storyline. They're gonna have to tie in the whole next season with Dreaming City somehow, with everything that's going on and the darkness, and they're gonna have to give us a lot.
It's going to be called the season of the wrap up.
Expectations at zero.
Oh,
Because
I have no expectations.
there's no shot that they were prepared to delay Witch Queen and still have everything in the pipeline ready to go in order to support a 7-month season potential.
Right. Absolutely correct.
Zero expectations.
Well, they have to finish the Crow line. They need to finish the Cabal line. They need to finish this line.
They need to finish
start-
the best story in D history, not D2, not D1, in Destiny history. The Forsaken campaign was the absolute, in my opinion, best thing we have ever gotten in this entirety.
We got to
of
get
Destiny.
that one done. We got to.
Studios working on it.
We have to finish the Beyond Light storyline. Like they could if they were to do it right, they would just wrap everything up. But
It's Bungie.
I just think come Christmas time, no one's gonna be playing it.
How did Bungie, a game who made Halo such, this has always bugged me, and I want to ask you, Arctic, because I didn't play Halo. How was Halo so epic, and Bungie has completely destroyed Destiny and made it the crap hole that I love Destiny, though. I hate that I love it.
I have a comment too on that.
So
after Arctic.
it's apples to oranges. However, Bungie has always struggled with development. Halo 1 was pushed out in about a year. Halo 2 was pushed out in 8 months because
That was
they
Activision though, right?
Bungie with Halo? No, that's Microsoft.
Oh, see, I don't know. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
Halo. I
Oh,
played
you're-
like 1 or 2 or 3 of them, and I didn't really even finish them. So
as long as Bungie has been a major player, so basically since Halo, they have always struggled with a manageable development cycle that hasn't been rushed in the final months before release.
and you can tell it is.
And that it's part of their culture at this point.
Do you think it's like a studio size issue, a limited resources issue, or it's just a we're procrastinators and we like playing our own game thing?
Luke Smith has been in a position of leadership at Bungie since Halo 3.
Do you think maybe, well, in hindsight now, it's because they left Activision, but do you think maybe they're better off with their partner with a bigger studio that keep them in check and keep them going?
So.
They're not just lost in this artist wonderland of, we'll get to it, we get to it.
At least they have the resources to develop, even if it was mismanaged to all hell. At least they have these other companies that were sitting off to the side ready to be tagged in.
Like, look, with the whole Activision and Blizzard thing going on right now,
it's good that they're not
right
with that, but again, the resources that Activision had allowed Bungie to get away with a lot of things, and Activision became the scapegoat for a lot of it. Yeah. We knew that as soon as they broke off, we were going to find out what kind of company Bungie is.
So,
and it's the exact same.
Yep. I guess He's a Jerk has a problem right with Luke Smith, obviously, but he brought up the fact that they're also developing another game.
Yeah,
I don't have hopes for that game. I don't. If they can't really handle this one, and I love Destiny. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the world. I love playing it, but there's only so much you can do in it, especially when you've played it since day one.
Well, see, it and I don't really mean to cut you off, but Jerk is one of our PvP trainers now, over on the PC side. He and I play so much together in Destiny that we now play together in COD, and I can't tell you how long it's been since I've had this much fun in a PvP, regardless of hackers and cheaters, that I've actually had fun. Regardless, we've been playing multiplayers. We've been playing Warzone. We've been doing Payload. It's just some other thing. It's just fun because it's not an ability spam game.
And the same thing with Halo Infinite, the tech preview. Even though we were only playing against bots the entire weekend, except for the final 2 hours of the test, it was more fun that I've had in a PvP setting than I've had maybe ever with Destiny.
Well, it seems it's simply because they don't balance the two aspects out in Destiny.
They don't do anything for PvP.
When it comes to PvP,
730 something days now?
I really think they should just stop the PvP aspect. If it's not going to work, stop PvP, stop Gambit, put all that time and effort into the PvE side of things, and build your own little World of Warcraft empire.
The problem is that they have made their bed and they get to sleep in it.
You could always remake your bed. You could sell that bitch and buy a new one.
You totally could, which is why they're making this separate game.
Matter.
Well, and do you think that the reason that they created PvP for Destiny is because that was an aspect of Halo, and they just took the format, the template that they had at Halo, and said, okay, we're just going to add more to it. We're going to make Halo bigger and better. And that may be part of the reason why I think they're kind of failing, is because, yes, Halo is, unlike Arctic, I've played Halo for the story, not the PvP. I'm obsessed with the story. It's how my husband introduced me to video games like this. It was part of our wedding theme. It was the whole love story of Master Chief and Cortana. Oh, wow. And I'll be playing it here pretty soon in prep for the next one coming up in December. But you think of the Halo story universe is, yes, you have Master Chief, you have the USMC, you have Cortana, and you have the AIs. But as far as like your enemies, you basically got like 2 or 3, and you don't find out until later, a couple games into, about the Forerunners and their whole story. And so it gave them a long time to build this backstory. And then you come into Destiny and they have these huge things of, okay, we're going to build a backstory to our main character. So our Guardian is our Master Chief. And you got a ghost that's going to come and save you every time you die. Our ghost is our Cortana, right? And then it's, okay, so we've got the Cabal, but then now you've added in the Fallen, and you've got the Vex, and then you had the Reef, and and then they have so many storylines, so many other races, so many other things that are feeding into the Guardian story that I think they got lost. They know that towards the end they're going to have to tie them all in together, and they have no idea to get there. Whereas in Halo, it's like, oh, I've got 3 or 4 things that I just need to tie in together and still make it good and still leave it open. Because like, were we going to ever expect that Master Chief really is a Forerunner? No, not at the time, you're playing the old ones. Just kind of like, they need to have that mind-blowing moment in Destiny 2.
I don't think we've had that
as well
at all.
Not 2, but as well. Not to call it one or the other, but we need that.
Master
We need
Chief is
some
not a
sort
Forerunner, he's a Reclaimer.
Well, okay. Yeah, all right.
I was waiting. Arctic was sitting there stewing.
I know.
He was stewing. He's like,
he was waiting.
"You're wrong."
She's
but
not
knew what I was
wrong.
talking about. You knew what I was talking about, what I was going for. It's like that mind-blowing thing where you're like, holy fuck, he was destined for this all the time. And you need that moment in Destiny. And yes, we've had those good heart-wrenching moments, but we need I
think it's all going to come down to that the
It's the
Vanguard
Crow.
and the Guardians, all this time that we thought we were good, which I've always
We're
had
really
my
bad.
view on the light and dark, because it's never been who's good and who's not. It's light and dark.
Yep.
I'm thinking that the Traveler is a fucking user. The Fallen didn't bend to his will, and we did. We're like,
He's an
ooh,
impotent
power,
man
let's
child.
go. And I think, honestly, we are inherently evil, and we caused all of this. We caused the chaos because we got the big head saying, we got the light and we can't die. That'll be
That's
light
not really the case, but
Huh?
except that can't really be the case based off of what we know with the Crow becoming the Hive, the Worm Gods, and what the Deep is. Because they were already taking over civilizations and subsuming them,
True.
and all that way before
Okay,
the
then
Traveler came to Earth.
let me reword it. We're going to find out we're not any better than any of the other ones. Let me put it there. We're not any better than the Hive. We're not any better than this. We're out to eliminate all these people who are eliminating these, but we're eliminating these people. It's just a vicious cycle that if one stopped, maybe all the other ones would be like, look, who's neutral here? And you know what I'm saying? No one is neutral.
We will have to see.
Maybe the Elixni are neutral, but they're not anymore.
Well, we're going to see what happens in this week at Bungie, and then they do have a big showcase coming up, I think, in 2 weeks.
The 24th.
And we will
24.
definitely
Do we
be
know,
talking
are
about
they
that.
are they going to do some live season ender like they've been doing before? Or will they do
No.
that right before the
No.
Rage Queen?
2
They should
hours to watch
never do
something
it
fall into a
Because,
mountain.
yeah, like TP said, I am not sitting in a goddamn tower for 4 hours to watch a skybox change. Just to get a little emblem. Ooh,
Yo,
no.
I was expecting something, and they're like, well, it takes time for Rasputin to destroy something that big. Wait, what? How many times you got to hit this thing? It took you 2.5 hours to blow this thing up and crash into a mountain that it's no longer smoldering. Did we recover the pieces, or is it just out there for everyone else to salvage all the...
But you
Their
forget
live
the
event
most
should
important
be-
part, the tiny piece of the tower that broke off.
Oh, God, no.
you can
no,
inspect
no.
it 100,000 times.
No, just no. their live events suck. It should just be you log in, see it, and go. It shouldn't be where you're literally trying. Like, how many of these live events of like you can't even get on the server, can't go where you're supposed to go, and of course the first one where they brought down the Almighty, right as it started happening, I got a fucking server error, could not get back in. So I missed the whole thing. I had to watch it online.
I did enjoy the last one where we were inside the last city. I thought there could be more to it, but I was like, well, this is finally something different and cool. And yeah, we haven't gotten it since. You didn't like it, Arctic? What the hell with you?
He gonna start this. So
I'm like a Sour Patch Kid. I'm sweet then sour or sour then sweet. Yeah, it's fine.
That's all we have for today's show. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank everyone who's been commenting and talking and interacting with us. We love it. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're watching. We're on the Bullet Heads Twitch. We're on the Kaiju Labs Twitch. We're on Maddie and DP's Twitch. Like, wherever you are, just go show some love and say, hey. Like,
that's what she said.
Oh. So, yeah, if you want to join the Bullet Heads, it's bulletheads.org. And if you are really PvP masterminded and good enough, you think you can join PvP Clan, you can message Arctic unless he's allowed to talk about how to join his.
Not really.
Okay. So, yeah, there's...
First rule, do not talk about it.
I'm not even allowed to be a PvP player in my clan. So, I don't meet the metrics.
Oh, dear God.
Okay,
That's
so yeah, come to Bullet Heads where we take anybody. We took me. We took DP. Maddie.
Hey, if they'll take me, they'll take any fucking body. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, so we'll be back every Thursday at 7:30. We'll be live with you guys, having fun, talking about all things Bungie until
Next
Christmas
Crucible
time.
Academy.
And so, yes, we are working on a Crucible Academy. I've got my armor set aside. I'm working on doing most of the upgrades on it, so it could be what anybody could have in their inventory. And we're going to start training me in PvP with some fun things. And if they want to do a strictly PvP show, they'll let me know. And we'll do that as they decide they want to do it.
Oh, crossplay's coming.
Okay, well, if you guys decide you want to do it, you just got to let me know.
Yeah.
We'll pull it together and have some fun.
Yeah, I'm down.
So, yeah, that's it for today. We'll see you guys.
Ooh, I have an idea for crossplay.
Okay.
Earl.
Arctic and Sladen versus me and DP.
We're going to win because I have Arctic on my side. I'll take that bet any day.
Oh, snap.
I mean, to be completely honest, I could
ass,
1v3 and still win. So.
I will farm your ass.
Bitch, I will go hide. I will make you chase me.
I will find you. I promise.
We're not looking.
Arctic, it's been a long time since we've faced off. I know you got a good shot and it's better than mine, but I've gotten a little craftier, sir.
Here's the problem. He has the crazy teammate. You never know what the fuck I'm going to throw at you.
Look at Maddie.
Maddie's
like,
she's a hunter. She can't even jump. I can jump across the map and throw fucking Colony down on you, just chasing you around.
Yeah, but
Colony's
I'm getting a lot
easy.
better. I'm getting a lot better at my dodge. So that's been helping a lot.
Put the ruler away now.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we'll do that. We'll see what happens with
That'll be an interesting stream.
Actually hits. Oh God, yeah. I will totally be on Arctic's team, and I will learn from him, and I will do as much as I can to fuck you up. So,
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good job, Maddie. You totally broke me there. I just think that's too fucking funny.
As soon as crossplay hits, it's gonna be me and Slayton 1-on-1.
See, that's not much of a challenge. I'm gonna run in circles and shit, hide and make you come after me. Oh, bitch!
Oh, I will. I will come after you with my fusion rifles, Arctic.
Well, at least it takes you a second to charge those. I'll have a dodge or something because I don't slide.
I thought we were supposed to be good at the game, D. Fuck it, fusion rifles, get out of here.
Love my fusion rifles, except Jotun. I don't like Jotun.
I like Jotun. I'll chase you down that.
I love Jotun.
Yep, and that's how you know Arctic right there.
We're for real off now. We'll see you guys next week.